Alright, what's up everybody, how's it going? It's Beck, aka Dansg08 here, back with another Final Fantasy X Randomizer live stream. Okay, the chat is popping. Good to see. Okay, thank you all for joining me once again. And before we get going, as usual, we will do a little bit of the kind of catching up, seeing where we're at, making sure everything's working properly, and then we will get involved with another session. So, I took the liberty of moving things along a little bit for this session. So what you would have remembered from the last one, hopefully, is that I finally began to boost some of my stats, and what we established was that due to the rules that I put on myself for this challenge, because we only have each character's individual parts of the sphere grid, there's quite a hard cap on the stats that we can have. So we can't just freely kind of put in whatever the hell we want and get 255 and everything. We have to be very careful in what stats we can boost and what we can't. And the challenge obviously began and had most of its life as a randomizer challenge, but it's basically going to evolve into more of a standard own sphere grid style challenge with maybe a few restrictions as a result of the randomizer in terms of what we can do. So that process takes a very long time. So what we are going to do is have a look at the situation. So if you check out this screen here, the stats look different to what we had last time. So I think I began with a few of the characters and we began doing some of the sphere grid work and moving people around and testing a few things. Now, that stuff, even with all of the kind of modern toys that we have today to make life easier with this stuff, it takes a long time. You've got to use the clear spheres, you've got to replace everything. Like the sphere grid work is definitely pretty tedious here. So what I did was basically go ahead and do the sphere grid work in advance for this session and see how we're going to do based on that. So I had to make some decisions, and the decisions basically revolve around which stats do we optimize for. And what we'd started to establish in the previous session was that it might be a cool idea to have certain characters specialize in certain things, because as I say, you just can't max everything. So the stats you see right now for Waka, this is basically every single node on his available sphere grid utilized. And so we're nowhere near 255 strength, we don't have quad 9 HP, we have no defense, basically, like very minimal defense, and we have no luck either. So for Waka, because we all know, obviously, he's very deadly with his attack reels, we are going to have to rely on everything we have to try and beat the most dangerous enemies that we have, the most difficult enemies we have for the rest of the challenge. So I figured at this stage, when we're fighting the most difficult things, we have agility is going to be more and more important. So I figured basically for everyone, I think we need the 170 agility. And so for basically everyone, I gave them the 170. So that was one of the things I thought that's probably not like it's a no compromise kind of thing. We really need it. And so Waka has the 170 agility. MP, I deleted them all. I figured we're going to try and see if we can get by using like 3 stars and that kind of thing. We'll see if that works. Strength, obviously, I boosted it as much as I could. And for defense and magic defense, what I tried to do was basically find some kind of base level in which they can, if they have enough buffs, they have like 5 focuses, they have double HP, they have shell, they have protect, they have whatever kind of buffs we can give. Can they survive at least some of the attacks that we're going to be facing? Obviously, with 5,000 HP, even quad 9 HP, with those defense numbers and magic defense numbers, you're going to get killed by a lot of stuff at the highest levels. But I feel like this might at least give me a chance of surviving some of the things we could face in the next session. So that's the general gist. Everyone has different stats now, and I focus on different things for everybody. The main thing you'll see... Rip Kimari, by the way. Kimari, I decided to still keep in his grid for now. I still haven't decided what to do with him. We'll discuss Kimari a little bit later. Poor Kimari with his tiny grid. Even if we utilized all of his like remaining spheres and stuff, his grid is so tiny that we're just not really going to get anywhere. Like, it's just not going to be that useful, unfortunately. So I hate to say it, but I think Kimari might not do so well. So other than him, for everybody else, we have some fresh stats. So let's keep it on the sphere grid page and display some stats. So for Riku, I decided to see if we can make her basically more of a defensive support character. Now, all of these are subject to change, and I haven't like tested beyond giving them these stats, so the decisions I've made here might be wrong, and if they are wrong and I decide actually no, she should have magic defense or she should have strength or whatever it is, then we'll kind of edit things along as we need it. But for now at least, my first opinion was that Riku's probably going to spend more time using mix, using the use command, and it felt to me like there's kind of no point trying to boost her strength either. So she's going to be more of a support character, I feel. And so I've tried to give her some defense and magic defense at least. Obviously the defense is the highlight stat here, but that's the general idea. And yes, as Coryphean points out, I have everybody just above 5,000 HP so that I can hit, when I double everyone's HP, I can hit quad 9. So those are generally my criteria. And so that is Riku's kind of role so far. Then we have Lulu, and yes, she does have a very beefy magic stat. So I've invested pretty heavily into her magic. I feel like obviously that's probably, like there's going to be at least 1 or 2 battles I feel where magic might be the better option. And so she's got the 170 agility, of course, and she has 212 magic, which is pretty big. I mean, obviously with her magic booster and those kind of things, she can do some pretty good damage. So I'm hoping like the holy and stuff is going to work out well. So that's Lulu's general outlook. Her magic defense is naturally pretty high anyway, and I boosted it a little bit further just to see if that's going to be helpful. Yuna, similar kind of story to Lulu, but for her, I gave her quad 9 HP because the more HP she has, the more HP our Aeons have. And the Aeons might end up being necessary sometimes as shields or to do a little bit of extra work for us. I'll generally try my best not to use the Aeons, but I figured in case I do, it might be useful to have Yuna at like a naturally high amount of HP. Again, subject to change, but these are just some initial ideas just to see how we can even approach the rest of the fights we have left. So that's Yuna. Tidus looks very much like Waka. I feel like they have similar strengths. Obviously, Tidus has Slice and Dice / Blitz Ace, so if he has a very powerful strength stat, he can do a lot of damage on the overdrives. And so it seemed to me a bit of a no-brainer to give him the strength as well. So Tidus and Waka very similar. Kimari, we already know. Waka we already know, and Auron is the final one, and this one again is a little bit interesting. Auron's stats are kind of a bit all over the place. Let me try and explain some of my thinking here for Auron. As you would have seen from the last session, Auron does have, he's the only one so far with a kind of quote-unquote ultimate armor, and it also includes break HP limit. So I've given him just over the quad 9 HP, and when you double it, it's obviously going to come to about 20,600. So that's, for now at least, that's the HP level I'm going to test with Auron to see if he can be a good tank for us in some of the fights ahead. Again, I've not focused too heavily on his strength because I needed him for defense and for HP a little bit more to get him to try and survive some more of these moves. So the idea is that Auron hopefully can survive hits that the others can't because of his big HP. His Masamune, it gets more powerful the less HP you have. And so I feel like maybe even though his strength stat is low, now and then, like if we're on really low HP, it might still kind of punch above its weight and help us out a little bit. But I'm not too optimistic about 86 strength. I feel like it's not going to be enough to really impact things. Agility, I put 65. And we mentioned in the previous session that agility works in tiers. And I remember, I think Coryphean posted like the different tiers for when your tick speed actually changes. And the magic numbers are 170, 98 for the next tier below that. And then I believe it was like 62 or 64 or something like that. So Auron, he's kind of 2 tiers below the absolute maximum agility. But I feel like 65 is enough to kind of keep him in the ballpark, especially once he's hasted up. If he's going to spend most of his time like on Sentinel, that kind of thing, I feel like maybe he doesn't need like 170 agility. So that's the general idea for now. And we will basically go ahead and see if we can do anything with the stats that we have against the final battles. So yeah, now that we've kind of done that summary. I needed to go over that because this took me maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours to set up this this situation. But I figured that's basically an entire live stream. So instead of watching 3.5 hours worth of sphere grid work, I figured let's get that out of the way and continue with hopefully the good stuff. So that's generally where we're at. And with that kind of introduction wrapped up, welcome to everybody once again. Thank you for joining me for this live stream. And I'm looking forward to continuing the adventure and seeing how far we can get. And yes, I do see some of my fellow Team Anima people in the chat. For anyone who doesn't know, there was the Final Fantasy Union pub quiz last weekend. And we had an absolutely great time. We had a few people from the Dansg08 community joining Team Anima, which was led by yours truly. And we managed to come 3rd place in the quiz, which I was extremely proud of. We had a really good time. And considering we were facing basically, like, it was an entire giant hall, like pub quiz filled with Final Fantasy nerds from all over the world, I think 3rd place was definitely a very, very good performance. So shout out to Miller and Dan in the chat, Dan Pollard. Those two were on my team. And we had a wonderful time. And anyone else, if you did attend, if you're in the chat or if you're lurking, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And thank you all for coming to that. So yeah, I think with that, we are basically ready to set things off. Now, one thing I didn't do is we have like an ultimate armor for Auron, but basically so far I focused on all of the stats and I didn't focus on any of the armors. So I don't know what's going to be necessary at this point, but we're just going to see how far we can get without having to kind of invest in armors as well. So ignore the armor stuff for now. I don't think it's too important. I still think Laguna is shorter than Squall. Yeah, one of the questions was who is taller, Laguna or Squall? And our team, we were really stuck between that one. And we said Squall in the end because he just has a taller kind of build. And apparently it turns out that it's Laguna by the smallest amount. But we weren't completely convinced by that. And if you look on the Final Fantasy wiki, there's a few conflicting things, but apparently I talked to Daryl afterwards and he said that he looked at the Ultimania, and the Ultimania that he checked, that's what he based the information on. But there you go. May I know how to use or download the Final Fantasy X editor you're using, the one that can live edit saves? The one that can live edit saves is called Farplane. It's called the Farplane editor, and it's a program that you literally fire up, and then it asks you to kind of select the Final Fantasy X like application/process, and once you do, it's very intuitive. Like there's a really nicely designed kind of menu for you to just see everything, and you can see the changes happen in real time. So it's called the Farplane editor. Our teammate said Laguna has short king energy and this will live with me. It's kind of true, to be fair. Okay, I think we were also doing stuff like making sure our overdrives were full for every battle as well. Okay, so I think you guys will have to remind me here. Have we now completed all of these and all of these? Do we only have the originals left? I think so, because we definitely did Jumbo Flan. We've done Ironclad. I think we've done all of them, right? Basically. Not Species. Which one did we not beat from Species Conquest? I think at this stage with these stats, it should be a bit of a no-brainer to do that, but let's just... hold on. I think basically it was kind of a... we had stuff like Pteryx and stuff that we couldn't hit, or Pteryx, whatever you call it. So I think even with these stats, we're probably going to die against something like this, but let's have a quick look. See you next time, Tony G. Take care. So let's have a look. Now, obviously, the CTB looks very different to the last time we met them, because everybody has much better agility now. Let's take a look at a few things here. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. But the most of the plaudits go to the team. We were a team of about 10 people, I think, something like that. And everyone like really contributed in an awesome way. So it's definitely it truly was a team effort. We did really well. So let's have a look. Lulu has 212 magic. There's magic booster. At this stage, I forget like which ones have really good magic defense and which ones don't. So let's try some things like drain. Let's see what we're doing. Would you look at that? 24,000 just on a drain alone. That is powerful stuff. So magic booster doing a wonderful job there. And she can literally basically drain this thing to death. Now the good thing about drain is that it's also, I believe, a rank 2 move. So it's quicker than like a normal move. And yeah, you can see the evasion is a problem. And so this is an example of a fight where Lulu is being very helpful with the magic. Because even Waka's missing here. We've taken away all of his accuracy as well. So let's fire off an Ultima. See how this is going. The Final Fantasy quiz and you called it team, not party. Yes, that's true. Very true. 63,000 on an Ultima. So now we're rolling. We can start to fight some of the big boys. At least in terms of our damage output, we're definitely doing much better. So that's a promising sign. I think for Riku, let's just put another first strike thing in. James, welcome to the stream and thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Hall of Famer James. Okay, so I think this guy maybe we didn't beat. Let's have a quick look. See if we can hit this guy. This one's probably pretty evasive as well. A bit of a problem for us. Yep. Waka still has aim, so let's have a look at this. Let's see how Auron does with a Sentinel. So again, you could obviously just come in here and spam all of your overdrives and just kill everything like without thinking too much about it, but we're going to obviously try and make things at least a little interesting. Yeah, the complete removal of accuracy, if you haven't put in your luck stuff yet, it can definitely cause a few problems. But I think like the hardest stuff in the monster arena, you're generally not going to have a problem with in terms of potentially missing them and stuff. So who had used? It was Waka, right? I've been playing a lot of the Carithian Masters mod, so I need to get my bearings again on on what to do. Yeah, she had Hasker. Yeah, the originals are not evasive, yeah. That's what I was generally hoping for. So, let's see. Yeah, he doesn't even have enough MP for a Protect. But at this stage, we can basically farm whatever item we want. Like, we're strong enough to basically farm like Light Curtains, Lunar, whatever we want, we can have them. So, the MP and the use of the spells is not as important as before. I kind of forgot he's got Auto Protect. Let's see that. Yeah, he's more than equal to it. That's perfectly fine. Let's see if Waka can start to hit now. Yeah, nice. Romadoni, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Damn, Tiger's still missing. It's not great. But as long as Waka can hit, basically it's already game over. Yeah, 21,000 there. I mean, considering he's only got 80-something strength, that's not too bad. He's still contributing at least a little bit. I think that's cool. It's a bit lucky that he made the hit, to be honest. Alright, if he uses Drain Touch, I think that's more powerful. It might kill him, but we'll just see. There you go. No? Okay. So, working pretty well at the moment. Just our accuracy letting us down. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so Auron, Tank Auron is looking pretty good so far. Sentinel is just a huge move. It works really well. So 20k HP, Protect, Sentinel, maybe some cheers, all that kind of stuff. It really helps him to survive quite a lot of punishment. Okay. Get real. Yeah, was today the release date for Final Fantasy 16 on PC? I'm already wondering what kind of mods they're gonna come up with. Okay. So I think this is gonna look similar to the other one. Like, we don't have much we can do. So I think we're gonna actually use Lulu again. Thankfully, the battle theme replacement mod is looking pretty good right now. Let's see if Waka can hit naturally. Nope. So that is going to be a problem for us. And they do have quite a lot of HP, so it's going to take a bit of time to work this down. Oh yeah, true. It's actually interesting if it will have any chance really of playing properly on the Steam Deck. It feels to me like it might be a bit out of the Steam Deck's reach, like it would have to be really optimized. And I don't think Final Fantasy games on PC are particularly famed for being well optimized, but I would definitely like to find out. If anyone does get it on Steam Deck, let me know how it runs. Right, let's get Lulu back in. Basically, it's kind of interesting because we can, of course, use Holy, but if you look at the delay from Holy versus using Drain, Holy, I think, still ultimately is the better move, but sometimes it's going to be nicer to just use Drain instead. Yoshi P said not to download naughty ones. Oh my god. That's a side of, like, that's a side of the internet that I don't want to know about. I just kind of blissfully pretend that it doesn't exist. I'm interested in challenge mods and, like, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, not the not safe for work material, of which I'm sure there's going to be probably way more of that than very good, like, gameplay tweak mods, challenge mods, or whatever else they're going to do. But it's nice to see Lulu contributing in a big way here. Massive damage. Yeah, Waka still can't hit. There you go, finally. This Kurag always cracked me up. It's like the most feeble, pointless move ever. Don't know why it does it. What a pro move, though. He knows that's going to make people create those mods, which will cause even more interest in the PC version. Yeah, I mean, it's no lie that all of the... Like, if a game has a really strong modding scene, I definitely think it basically helps sales and stuff as well. Some people are just in it for the mods. Ah, not quite. Sky Blue Dreams, welcome to the Shoot Buff Riders, or welcome back, should I say. You're already a Silver Orin, just as Orin gets taken out. There we go. Final Fantasy 16 party mod, so we can have an old school experience. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do, because it's obviously way more of an action-based gameplay style. I do wonder what gameplay tweaks we're going to get. Potential new challenge stuff. Like, if anything really cool comes out for 16 in terms of mods, I could be inclined to give it a go. Some kind of challenge material that takes my interest. Definitely wouldn't rule it out. I mean, to be fair, 7 Remake's been out for a long time, and I haven't really heard anyone that's played a mod of 7 Remake in terms of it, like, being, I don't know, some kind of challenge content or something that really changes the gameplay or anything interesting. So if it hasn't happened for Remake, I'm a bit doubtful about 16, but we'll see. Status effects mod, yes, please. Remember status effects? Those were cool. Final Fantasy 1 has them. Crazy, right? Now, I was going to say, does this guy naturally have Reflect? I forgot. That would be embarrassing. It doesn't seem to, but probably has good magic defense. Let's see. There are some rebalance mods of 7R that at least make the weapon upgrades more impactful. Yeah, so this is one of those enemies that does have very good magic defense. And it's probably also very hard to hit. Make the game good mod. Yeah, it's basically one hit with Waka, but we need to actually be able to make the hit. So we don't have to rely on overdrives. But as you can see, Lulu's not as useful for this one, unfortunately. So these are probably all going to miss. Oh. Yeah, so Sentinel's also going to be a little bit useless in this fight. I think if it uses an ultimate, we're basically going to die. So we kind of have to kill it before it has a move, otherwise we're going to die. The P-Bird mod version of Vidatu is the most evasive enemy to ever exist in this game. What the hell? What were its stats? Before that, it should be Dark Mindy, right? The most evasive enemy in the game, like naturally. Uh... 255 evasion and luck, holy shit. Yeah, it doesn't get more evasive than that. So let's do this to give ourselves more chance of actually hitting this thing. We only need one hit, but we might not be able to make it without overdrives. Okay, there we go. I think we got a little bit lucky there, but we did it. Is that even hittable? Good question. I mean, if you have 255 luck and you have 255 accuracy, is that like 100% hit rate? I don't even know like how it works when you get up that high in terms of that stuff. I think we've killed one eye already. I'm pretty sure we have. This guy, actually, we might not have killed yet. This could be an interesting one. If you have close to max luck, you can hit it. But like with 100% accuracy, or... Look at that magic counter. Look at that magic counter. That's cool. See you later, Rhoda. Take care. Now, maybe... who do we start with here? Let's have a look. We definitely need some magic defense here. We're going to be hit with Ultima. Riku's the one with focus. I think let's get a baseline. Yeah, 25% if you have 55, 255 luck, 75% if you stack aim on top. Fair play. So let's just let it have an attack here. I want to see what we're dealing with. So yeah, you attack it normally, it comes back with Ultima, so this should be a wipeout. I don't think Yuna's going to survive this. But let's just see what we're working with and then work it down from there. 15,000, okay. So already with a shell and double HP, we basically survive. And so those are like the situations where even something like 35, 40 magic defense can already make quite a difference. So who's our team here? We keep him in there. We go for... Maybe we'll go for a team like this. Yeah, the ultimate counters are pretty brutal. Yeah, we'll definitely speed up. Once we get things working how we want, we'll run the speed up for this fight. It does take a little bit long. Let's get Riku in. But now, just to start the session, we're gonna take it easy. And then we'll speed it up. I love donuts. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. We'll start with a bit of this. The owner of the Monster Arena is like the richest man in spirit. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, he went from rags to riches, put it that way. Like, before the arena was open, obviously, it made a big difference, but... Let's see... Before we do anything, we need to double our HP. Does it also counter magic? We're going to find out. First of all, let's make ourselves tough enough to survive the counter, and then we'll go. Yeah, it's just one of the many heroic things the team has done. Saving this guy and turning around his fortunes. So we need to get Lulu prepped as well, because I want to use some magic. So let's start with the Holy, see what it does. This is, like, if it counters this, then this preparation obviously sucked. It's going to kill us again, but it heals from Holy. So there's that, but it didn't counter, which is interesting. Riku has focus, so we're going to start to put these in. So it turns out Holy is not the way. Let's get to that max HP though. Let's see how much a drain does, and let's see if we get countered on a drain. 33,000. Excellent damage. Okay, let's do it again. 37,000. Can we sneak a turn in there? I think we can. No. Looking closer to CTB, I think. Actually, I think we might be able to. Hold on. Ah, shit. It's close. Not quite. But Lulu does have better magic defense, so even without a double HP, she should be able to survive an Ultima, I think. If it does indeed use one. Let's double her HP as well. It's a shame we don't have double cast. Osmos, not that important. Okay, now we're going to bring in Tidus, and we're going to get him ready. So now we basically should be able to tank the Ultima counter. So let's run a test. Otherwise this fight's going to take way longer. The damage from Drain is nice, but it'll take ages. So let's have a look at the damage. Waka died, I couldn't keep track. Don't know how much damage he took. Did anyone catch the number for Waka there? I mean, look at the damage differentials here, though. Lulu still has 2/3 of her HP. Waka died. And Tidus survived it. 10.6k, that's very close. I think his magic defense is at base, so I think for him it's not enough. He probably needs a bit more work. 10, 4, 5, 7. I think did he have 4 focuses or 5? I think I might have missed the 5th focus. Yeah. Classic Waka, he gave it everything, but it wasn't enough. Yeah, Waka's turn has completely vanished, obviously. I kind of want to try again. I think I might have only got 4 focuses in on him. So let's try 5 times focus shell and double HP and see if it scrapes through. And we'll keep doing the damage while we go. Sammy Jukes, welcome to the stream. Another Team Anima member. Good to see you. You flew in all the way from the US for the Final Fantasy Pub Quiz event. And we had a great time. As PR7 comes in with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And congratulations to everybody who received a membership. Right, let's... that. We really need to haste him up, I forgot. Wow. Slow. Continue with the focuses here. I do think if we had one more focus, which I think we had room for, then it would have been enough. But this thing has so much HP, man. So we're going to deliberately get Waka out of here. He's not quite ready yet. Might waste his preparations. And we can utilize magic counter as well. Let's see. Osmos. Yeah. Auto reflect on Lulu, by the way. Bring Waka back in. So we're nearly there, just a few more little preparations here. I know what they were... Yeah, this one in particular just seems a bit odd to me. I feel like Jumbo Flan, okay, they made one guy that's like particularly horrible. But like this one, it just seems like disproportionate. It just seems kind of pointless. Like compared to the rest, it's so high. Should have been like 500-600k or something. Right, that must be 5 focuses, surely. It must be. Alright, we'll see if Waka has a chance of surviving here. And well, to be honest, Lulu's magic's not even at 255. Imagine she still has a little bit to go. So that's the difference it can make. So we're almost ready here. If Waka dies again, we'll just, you know, there's not much we can do about that. He just doesn't have the magic defense for this fight to stay alive. So let's just wait a little longer. Okay. Yeah, because he got KO'd, he doesn't have shell, so... Refuses to attack Tidus, who could fight back without any repercussions. Does he have any magic defense armors? Good question. If he does, then he would be able to survive. Let's check that before we go. Probably not, honestly. Oh, he's got a normal defense, but he doesn't have a magic defense. That's a shame. Oh well, let's just go for it and see what happens here. If he dies here as well, then we just have to deal with it. Let me try and keep track this time. Wait, did he not have shell last time? Why did he take so much damage? Oh, I think I forgot to put shell on him last time. I was going to say, like, it seemed a bit disproportionate there. That makes more sense now. Okay, I think we're good. We can start to push this one forward now. But just have to be careful, make sure I heal up before I use another physical attack. But we're already past halfway here. There we go. Watching endgame content of this makes me feel like I'll never beat any of it. It's definitely far from the case. It's just, it really is unfortunately a bit of a preparation thing. Like if you take the time to obviously prep your stats, prep your equipment, all of that stuff, it's genuinely not that hard. It really isn't. But I understand if people don't have the time for that or they don't want to do it, trying to beat it without making those types of preparations, it's a whole different ball game. So it kind of just depends, really. Tidus should survive. 2 hits away. So you can see, even with very little magic defense, you can survive ultimas from relatively powerful enemies if you have the right protections. That was a mistake. I thought he was going to do quad 9. That was a bad mistake. Did Waka survive with a natural 1? I think he did. That's brilliant. Wow. I think he survived with a natural 1. That almost never happens. Holy shit. Wow. There you go. Waka defying the haters once again, coming through clutch. Okay. Must be his 30 luck. He's 23 luck, he doesn't even have 30. But if you look at the magic defense numbers here, you can see, I mean, 37 and 41's barely anything. I reckon if they were closer to base, we probably still would have survived just about with the focuses and stuff. And then there's magic defense armor if you already want it, so there's definitely some options. Okay, another one bites the dust. So, what else? Did we beat Fafnir? I don't think we did. Tankette, I'm definitely sure we did. Fafnir, I think we might not have. Hope you get well soon, James. That sucks. It really is, at the moment here in the UK at least, it really is like the season of people starting to get really sick. My girlfriend's sick at the moment. She's been home for like 3-4 days with sickness. My mum is sick right now. Even like the pub quiz, there are a few people, like special guests that couldn't come due to sickness and stuff like that. It's that time of the year. It's really rough. Ryan from the car wash, welcome back to the Shoot Up Riders. Yes, these people are sick indeed. If anyone is sick, you need to leave the chat right now. Can't be having you guys spreading your germs in the chat. Let's see now. Now this guy, as you can see, is extremely slow until he gets a turn. So let's begin. Okay. Obviously, these guys aren't at 255 strength, so any enemy that has like the tough armor and stuff is going to make it a little bit harder. Speed up. So we're probably not going to be able to do enough to kill it. It's going to get its attacks in, and if it does, that might be a bit troublesome. Because triple attack can definitely be dangerous. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. And if you're not prepared, it can potentially wipe you out. Now, which one did it use first? If we have some null spells, we could probably avoid it. This one, hold on. It does it in a particular order. I can literally, I think I should probably have the P-Birdman Ultimate Companion Guide up while I do some of these fights, so I can just remember some of these things. Memory issue. Jumbo Flan. Elemental guy. Tankette. Fafnir. Okay, so it does the Ice Breath first. Who's got Null Frost? Maybe it's Kimari. I don't even know. I can't keep up with this stuff anymore. Okay, she does. I'm hoping this is enough to help us out here. So let's do a Sentinel here. And stay on the attack. Let's see what happens. Okay, did a normal attack, then it's going to do triple attack. Okay, I think we might actually have time then. Let's see. Yeah, Kimari missed his chance by not knowing Null Frost, unfortunately. Hey Tanya, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I think we're going to maybe fall just short. Let's do another Sentinel here. Yeah, actually, yeah, we're going to fall just short here. It's going to get one set of attacks. Let's see what it can do. Let me slow it down. Because Auron has brilliant defense and he's in Sentinel, but Tidus and Waka are pretty weak, but they have Null Frost. So I think we should be pretty fine here. But let's have a look. Ah, see, that one is unblockable by a Sentinel. Strong breath attack, which Auron heals. And there you go. So that was interesting. So the Sentinel didn't stop the first one from coming in and KOing Tidus there. But good enough. And you get 40 light curtains for your troubles. Thank you, Tanya. Congratulations to Team Anima and everyone who participated. Killed it. As Dan mentioned earlier, we were 0.2 points away from second place. I think we were more like 4 points away from first, which is a more meaningful gap, but second place, we were extremely close. And I assume it was 0.2 points because some of the rounds, they weren't as like linear. I think one of the rounds, for example, was like, we had 5 minutes to list as many spells from Final Fantasy VIII or 3 minutes or something as possible. And so let's say you list like, I don't know, 35 of them, you get a certain amount of points and stuff. So I assume the points they gave weren't like full points for that. Maybe it was partial. I don't know. Yeah, we did miss a couple, but I think we did really well. Considering how short our time was, we found a lot. I don't think we missed more than like 4 or 5 spells from the entire game. Yeah, so we were listing all of them down, like double, triple, blizzard, all of the different tiers of ice, all the cure spells, everything. And it was just me like writing like a lunatic as fast as I could while everyone's just shouting spells at me. It was definitely intense. But yeah, I think, does that conclude everything here, basically? It does, right? Pretty sure we've already beaten this guy. But basically, either way, I think after this one, we're going to move it along. See the damage? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it was definitely a wonderful event. I'm pretty sure basically everyone that I spoke to seemed like they had a great time. I had a great time. It's definitely something I'd recommend if they ever do one in the future. Wish more bars and pubs had more video trivia outside your basic Mario Sonic generic questions. Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much nothing like it. It's definitely very cool. And well, I mean, I kind of also like that the rounds were also pretty diverse. It wasn't just simple, like, you know, they're just hurling trivia questions at you over and over again. There's a lot more things that are a little bit more interactive, a little bit more interesting, stuff you have to kind of discuss together. So it was definitely a very fun format as well. And yeah, Ben Starr, goes without saying, he did an incredible job. I mean, he is an excellent actor after all, and he is a true Final Fantasy fan. You bring those two things together. He's got great energy. I mean, he had to be on the mic for, including breaks, still about like maybe 6 hours or something like that. And he was just relentlessly funny and just keeping everyone entertained and engaged. So he did an amazing job, and he always does. He's the best. So yeah, they're very lucky to have him helping out and supporting the event. It's definitely brilliant. Okay, so now we are going to get to the business end of things. I think we're ready to start moving on and giving it a go with these guys. Now, I think they're all beatable, but with the current setup we have, stuff like Ultima Buster, I'm pretty sure we can't do it. We might have to have a more specialist setup to defeat that one. So we'll see. We'll take it from the top and begin with Earth Eater, and we'll see how things go. How many times did Ben say Joshua? I think there were definitely 1 or 2 times he threw that kind of stuff in. Unfortunately, Joshua himself was going to be at the event. Jonathan, I think his name's Jonathan Case. He plays Joshua in Final Fantasy 16. He's a voice actor. But unfortunately, I think he was unwell. He was one of the few people that was unwell and couldn't come. So we need to knock this guy down ASAP. You need to do 100,000 damage to knock it down. If we had double cast magic, I think maybe we could. But at the moment, I think we're going to get Megaton punched regardless. So let's just hit it. I think we're going to do like 50,000 damage again. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, roughly the same damage as Fafnir. This should knock it down, and then we'll have a little time. Yeah. LM, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. He keeps a little dirt under his pillow for the dirt man. Okie Bloke, welcome to the stream. Another Dansg08 community member that was at the event. Unfortunately, he wasn't on our team, but we got to meet and chat, so it was good fun. I think there was supposed to be a bit more of a music round, but again, I think they had a violinist who was supposed to come, I believe, and like perform a couple of pieces and that kind of thing. But again, the violinist unfortunately was unwell and couldn't come, pulled out last minute, so yeah. Let me get set up here. How many teams were there? I think 19 or 20, something like that. Okay, so now we're going to have to deal with Flare. I think these are one-hit KOs. I'm not going to bother trying to save myself against these. We'll just auto Phoenix. I think it's probably a bit easier. But let me speed up again. Wait till Yuna gets the turn, swap Tidus in, and then we get going. Again, you can obviously do this with overdrives and stuff, but I'm trying not to spam overdrives too much for now. Can't believe how much post/side content this game has. How is it with the new Well, have you heard of a game called Final Fantasy Rebirth? That's got some extra content, good lord. This game in relative terms I don't think has that much. Even games like Final Fantasy 12 I think have quite a lot more. Let's keep going. Hey Tomorrow, welcome to the stream, good to see you. Ouch. Yeah, the only bad thing about this one is because they die every time and we don't have auto haste armors yet for everybody. We can't keep up our speed, which is a little bit of a shame. But I think it's still, I can't be bothered to kind of go like the buffing route at the moment. I'm pretty sure like the flare is strong enough that for Tidus and Waka we just wouldn't be able to survive it anyway. There's not much point. And I mean, you got to remember when the game first came out, there were no Dark Aeons and stuff too. So especially when you consider like the first version, I really don't think there was a huge amount of side content for this game. Okay, he's back up again, so it's going to be the same thing, Megaton Punch. But this time, because our HP is low, we're going to need more hits to take him down. We need to be more careful here. We're going to need one more here. I'm going to try and knocking it down. She's got auto reflect, right? Let's see. Okay, just about enough to knock him down again. That'll do. Ah, that's annoying. But yeah, as you can see, because this guy's biggest weakness in general is that he can't hit the entire party. And so as a result, like one way or another, you can generally grind him down. It's not too bad. Imagine like everybody had auto Phoenix and that kind of thing, you'd get through this even more quickly. It's not too bad. Obviously all the dirt he's eaten makes him fire fart. Okay, 2 more hits here. And this guy, at the end of the day, if we want to increase our luck stat, we're going to need to farm this guy. So you need to kind of make sure that you're hitting for absolute max damage here. Otherwise, you're only going to get 1 Fortune Sphere. So just to make absolutely sure. Let's finish the job here. There you go. Make sure you get that overkill. Very useful for farming. Yeah, we put him out of his misery. And there you go, 2 Fortune Spheres. So for now at least, I think I'm going to look into Fortune Sphere stuff when we're trying to fight Dark Aeons. For now, I'm not going to touch it. As you can see, everyone's grids are full to the absolute max. We're going to have to sacrifice some stats to even put luck on there. So there's a node here or there that I've left if it's already a luck node. We need to swap these with +4s, but I think we're going to have to kind of rely more and more on overdrives against Dark Aeons, because we have so few nodes that like taking away even 10 nodes for like a +40 luck is going to be really rough. So I think that's going to be very difficult. So we'll see how we're going to tackle it, but for now at least I think it's going to be a bit tough. We'll see. But yeah, as I mentioned at the start of the session today, everyone's grids are completely full. Except for Kimari, but his grid is so tiny that it just wouldn't make much difference. When you get 2 Dark Matters instead of Fortune Luck Spheres, yes, absolutely. It's funny because Dark Matters are something that you're usually always happy to get, but in those scenarios, it's a massive pain in the ass. If anything else fails, you can always allow Kimari to break towards 1 grid. I agree, but then I think once we get to a point in which we're truly stuck, having Kimari with a 2nd grid, we'll pick a grid like Lulu's or something that's one of the bigger grids, and then his kind of existing grid plus Lulu's grid would make Kimari basically the strongest character. And so Kimari might have his say yet, but for now at least, he's going to have to howl alone for a little longer. Jeff Farmer, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Okay, so that's the first original creation done. Next is one that's a little more annoying. Greater Sphere. Okay, so this one has some tricks to it that I think we can exploit, but I need to remember how it works. So we might have a few deaths here where I try to figure this one out. There was something about it doesn't counter reflected magic. Basically, if you reflect magic onto it, it uses the last counter attack that it used. And so that means that if you didn't do anything that's already triggered a counter and you start straight away with something like Reflected Drain, I don't think it counters it. So let's run a test. And as you've seen from the damage, this is going to help us immensely here. 19,000 is not incredible, but I think it'll do. Ah, shit. Yep. Forgot. No. Can we just slow it down again? I mean, by the way, it is hasted, but look how few turns it's still getting anyway. That's funny. But I don't think we can slow it down again, so I think we have to start again. We're better off using the slow spell, but do I have scan? Probably not. We'll have to see. We can slow. Let's see if we can salvage something here. Basically, trying not to instigate counterattack, it is immune. So we're going to have to try again here. This isn't going to work. I don't want to do the whole fight with it hasted. It's not smart. But you saw there was no counterattack there when I used the drain. So I think that's a good sign. So I think we can make something work with that. Lulu. What would your perfect armor setup look like? I've got Auto Haste and Auto Phoenix. I think Alchemy, then Ribbon. Not sure. I don't know who has Scan, to be honest. Okay, Yuna has Scan. That's quite interesting. Okay.